Hello all, welcome to the Java session. I am Amrita Patil and today we are going to explore encapsulation in Java. Encapsulation is one of the fundamental concepts in the object oriented programming. It is one of the four pillars of the OOPS concept. What is the data encapsulation means? It is bundling of the data, that means attributes, and the method, that is functions that operate on a data into a single unit. That means a single unit, that means we are considering a class. And suppose in the class we have the different data and the different methods which we are combining that, and we are allowing them to be accessed in the class and outside the class according to the programming scenarios or the whatever the programmer wants to do with that data. The encapsulation allows for data hiding, abstraction, and the promotion of the clean code. The example of that, if suppose a doctor prescribes a capsule, in that you can say the different units that are combining together. That means one may be a white color, one may be a red color. The different medicines are available in the single capsule. And that is the we can in our concept a different capsule, that means the different medicines, that means data and the methods into a single unit, that is encapsulation. What are the key concepts? How can we achieve the encapsulation in the Java? We are having four different methods. One is the private access modifiers. That means we are declaring the attributes as a private, which will do the restrict, which will use to restrict the direct access of the data outside the class. It can be only accessible and modified within the same class. The second is the public getter and setters methods. Suppose we are creating or we are declaring the attributes as a public, then how can we access that data? By using the public getters, for that is also called as the accessor methods, to allow reading of the private attribute methods, and setters, that means to set the data, the values to that private attributes by using the setter methods, that also called as the mutator methods, which will enable the modifying of the private attribute values. These methods provide controlled access to the encapsulated data. The third one is data hiding. Encapsulation hides the internal implementation details of the class, the internal state, such as the attributes and their values, which will be remain hidden from the external classes. That is the data hiding. And last one is the immutable classes. Mutation means we are just copying a data, and that is called as the mutation. But if we are not allowing one to copy that data, that is the immutable. So that can be achieved by using the immutable classes, which will provide the read only attributes that cannot be changed after the object creation, that typically not have the setter methods, and due to not having the setter methods, one cannot allow to change the attribute values while the object creation. Now we will see what are the real life examples. Suppose we are having a bank account class where the attributes will be account number, balance, and the customer name are the private one. Okay. Now we will have the private methods and the public methods. The get account number and the get balance which will be having the read access, and deposit and the withdraw will have the balance. Okay, and now go to the second example, that is the student class, where the private attributes are name, roll number, and the marks. The public methods will be which can be seen by everyone to for read, that is the get name and the get marks. And the private methods, that means only the respected person can set their roll number and set their marks. That means the updation of that roll number and marks will be updated security. Now we can say that the encapsulation only valid data is set, maintaining the data integrity in it. What are the advantages of encapsulation? The first is the data security. That means we can prevent or protect our sensitive data from unauthorized access for modification. The second one is abstraction. Abstraction, that means expose only relevant information while hiding the implementation details. We are not showing all the implementation details to the third party. And last one is the code maintenance. The changes can be made internally without affecting the external code. That means the code is maintained. So, what are the limitations of this? So, increased complexity, performance overhead, limited flexibility, difficulty in debugging. As we are having the private different type of access modifiers we are using, it is quite difficult for debugging. Overuse of the getters and setter methods that will enlarge your code for getters and setters. Mutable state. If we are using the mutable classes for the encapsulation, then that will be uh, a, issue, you can say, and difficulty in the unit testing. Now let's see a live code of the encapsulation. Here a class person is there. In this we are using string name and integer age as a private members, and getters and setter method for the name and age. Okay, and in the main method, what we are doing, we are creating an object of the person class as person is equal to new person. We are setting the set method as it is name is private. I cannot do directly name person dot name is equal to suppose 8. So it will compiler will complain as the name is the private field. So how can we do that? I can do person dot set name by using the setters and getters method. So I'm just setting the John and his age as a 30, and just I'm printing the name and age by using the getter setter methods. And if I want to run this program, I am just displaying the name as a John and age as a 30. Okay. So now test your knowledge, whatever we have covered in the session. What is encapsulation is in Java? Okay. So a technique to hide the Java source code, a process of binding the data and methods together in the class, a way to access the Java data directly from outside the class. So what will be the answer? Yes, encapsulation is binding the data and the methods together in a single unit, that is a class. Now go to second question. Which access modifier is used for private attribute in the Java? Which access modifier is used? Private. Though we have the protected public and encapsulation is not at all the valid access modifier. So answer will be a private one. Okay, these are some of the questions related to encapsulation. Try to find the answers and let me know in case of any issues. Till that, thank you and happy learning.